Well, we did it, guys. We are at 1,000 subscribers. I honestly believe it'll take a few more days or a few less days, honestly. But we made it to 1,000
Woo!
subscribers. Obviously, I have my friend right next to me, the Sovereign. So, how are you doing, the Sovereign? Thank you very much for every one of you who have made this possible. I couldn't have actually done it without you guys, so that's a very important thing that I want to say. Couldn't have done it without you guys. Very happy that every one of you could support me. And with that said, let's get started with this 1,000 subscribers event. And that is apparently, you guys voted for what is the best, or what personal video that you want me to do. And the personal video that you guys want me to do is the time that I almost died.
Good choice.
At 53%. Yes, good choice indeed.
Excellent.
So yeah. So I'm gonna bring my friend, the Sovereign, right here next to me, and we're gonna talk about how we almost died. Or I should say, how I almost died. You're the one that kind of killed me.
That's not entirely true.
Okay, well, not entirely true, but by the time we end this video, you guys will get a good hang.
Yeah.
So let's start the video of where we were at. So let's just start. Our situation was in a L-shaped corridor in which we had to turn a hard right to go down this long alley, or I should say, a long road, because it's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit bigger than an alley. It was. And the most important thing out of this is that there's this pool right next to it, and outside of the pool you have a lot of these columns. Now these columns aren't like the random like pillars. These columns are going to be the ones that are going to be at least 5 feet in diameter, and at least 5 feet in diameter. It could be 10, right?
It's hard to say. 5 sounds very reasonable to me.
5 sounds very okay. 5 feet in diameter, and it goes high. Basically, they're the ones that hold the football stadium lights. So they're not technically pillars that are columns. They're just the football stadium lights. So that's that. So you and I were coming out from an organization called History Bowl, in which we competed for history. And back then, I had a bike.
Oh, yeah.
Now, of course, being a good biker and a biker who respects the law, I literally have to wear a bicycle helmet. That is actually what you're supposed to do, and if you don't do that, I'm sorry, but yeah. Our school has a pretty good insurance policy. The school in which I was at has a pretty good insurance policy of the police will actually stop you if you don't wear a biker's helmet, so you're gonna get caught. But that said, let's get on to the main point. So we were riding a bike, fooling around. You were on foot.
I wasn't riding the bike.
I was riding on the bike. You were on foot.
That's right.
And we did some crazy things, such as the time that we used the water bottle to sword fight each other.
That's right.
That also happened. But for this case video, we were going down the street, and suddenly we decided to play water bottle attack again, and used our water bottles to try to hit each other. Except for I was on the bike and he was on foot.
Right.
So I realized pretty soon that there was no way in hell I'm gonna seriously damage him anytime soon. And now, of course, I was being childish and pretty much chaotic back then.
Hey, well, think about it though. The mounted soldier has always had the advantage over the foot soldier. Let's not forget that.
To give myself a bigger edge, I took out a bike lock.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took out.
Right.
Now this isn't a small bike lock. Well, it is small, but
it was a decent sized lock, and it was one of the chain ones.
It's one of the chain. Well, it's not made out of chain, but it's one of the plastic chains.
Yeah, like one of
but it hurts like hell if you hit a person correctly.
It's got steel in it. Yeah, it's not.
No, it's mine.
I know it's yours. It had steel inside of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Clean my cock.
So then I decided to go chasing him this time, twirling it like a lasso, or I should say like a heavy rope. But this time it's more like if you get hit, you're gonna pretty much get severely hurt at best.
Yeah.
And then I just came chasing around him. Now, my friend here, you're gonna describe me what happened to you.
So when I saw him pull out the bike lock, I started to get really concerned because, a water bottle can only do so much damage.
And you were holding one.
And I was holding one, so I had to think, okay, he's coming at me with this mace. I need to get this water bottle.
Mace. Mace is a thing in which it's a hard.
mace could spin. Mace can spin.
No, mace is that's an iron chain.
Moving on, back to the story. So I started to get a little bit concerned, so I thought, how can I get this water bottle to do maximum damage? And if I remember correctly, what I did was I threw the water bottle into your spokes.
No, you did not. You threw the water bottle and
Or did I
it
throw
hit
it right at your face?
No, it hit the front of my bike, bounced off into my helmet, and then just bounced off, and then you start running.
That sounds right. But I think I missed. I think I was trying to get it in your spokes, and I missed.
Yeah.
And it just bounced and hit you in the head, which was, a bonus. It didn't really. It was a free
Not
shot.
that my helmet didn't protect me at all. Not that no, I'm kidding. Not that it didn't do literally any damage.
Well, it was a bloody water bottle. If you did
Yeah.
any damage, that'd be concerning.
Yeah.
But and then I think that
You should have honestly filmed it back then.
I mean, yeah, and then I started to run, but by the time I turned and started running, it had just messed up his orientation just a little bit too much on the bike.
And this is the part in which I start talking, because what happened was that he made a pretty.
This.
So I made the sovereign right here decided to run, and I was actually quite comfortable, except for when he decided to turn the right turn. Now remember how I said at the geography, in which he had the road that we were going down had a sharp right turn, and after that was this massive alleyway with essentially a lot of these football stage lights, and these are going to be very important because when he made the turn, the bike, I wasn't expecting to do such a hard right turn. Now my bike just went a very hard right turn, and when I did the hard right turn, I almost came crashing down on my right shin. So I needed to do a small right turn. So what ends up happening is that I tried my hardest to do a right turn, but because of the right turn was like so chaotic, as you can say, I crashed into a pole.
Yep.
And a massive pole at that. Now, what happened, I remember actually quite clearly. My first reaction was, holy cow, I'm gonna die. And literally what happened was that I was holding my bike with two hands, as you should be. And the first thing I instantly remember was my bike, the front wheel pushed up, once on impact it pushed up. And the first thing that happened was the bike wheel literally got shot up, and I was basically turned into this. I was literally catapulted onto the pole. Yeah. And the first thing that happened after my bike wheel shot up was that I remember the brakes, which are usually supposed to go outside of your hand when you're not holding the brakes, of course, literally slammed into my knuckles. So my knuckles actually started hurting. Second thing that I remember was that my helmet hit the pole, and I came literally flying off after that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely. And I was pretty shaken at this point because I had not expected him to crash in such just a chaotic manner. I just didn't think it was gonna happen. So when I saw this, it all kind of happened in slow motion a little bit, where he went up on the pole, slammed into it, and it just kind of all tumbled in. And I was pretty concerned because he took a pretty serious hit. You could hear it all over this area. It was loud when his helmet made contact with that pole. So I immediately knew that something could be wrong.
Mm-hmm. And two things after that is that this actually happened later. But the first thing that I did after I decided this bike needed fixing, I went to fix the bike, and what happened was that I found out, this bike is unfixable. I had to throw it out. And also another thing was that on the pole there was actually this sharp spot that is actually pretty long, and that is used for people climbing up to the, let's just say, to fix the football lights.
Yeah.
And if I were been, let's just say 3 inches, 3, 4 inches, 5 inches,
around that,
5 inches taller, I would have been dead. Because what's happened, because I was slamming into essentially pole. And what would have happened with my helmet is that I was slammed into the spikes, and I'll literally have my head impaled on the pole, which, let's just say, isn't going to be a good sight.
No.
And that's going to cost the school the biggest lawsuit I've ever seen in my life. Not that I'm going to have a life then, but, you know.
But, it still would have been, we would have remembered you so much more.
Yeah.
Fondly. It would have been, your legacy would have been preserved.
Thank you. So tell them what happened to you, after you came running over. And
so, he was pretty shaken up. And I couldn't tell how much of that was just the shock of the accident and could have been like an actual concussion or something. So, me being me and, my weirdness, I was like, I'm going to give him a concussion test right now. And I started to ask him questions and stuff about different things.
I remember the first question that you asked me was, what's today's date? And my first response was, I don't remember, because I usually don't remember dates unless I'm taking a massive test, which I do have to remember. So I said, I don't know, because we didn't have a massive test, and he's like, that's not possible, you've been writing your date, which isn't true, because we didn't have a single assignment that day, so that's gonna not help my situation even more. So I said, I don't know. So he came up with the second question, and the second question is, who's the president of the United States? And during that time, it was Donald J. Trump. And I answered that, and then he said, no, that's not going to be helpful because he's been president for a long time. So, after that, he came up with the third question, which I actually forgot.
Third question, what would I have asked you? I probably would have asked you something, because you're not supposed to ask, like, trivia, you're supposed to ask, like, stuff that's happened.
My name.
Maybe I asked what your, like, I think I might have asked you your, like, father's name was or something.
No, that's not possible. But needless to say, you asked the third question, and we were just going on like you were more concerned about me, and at a certain point, you actually thought I had a concussion.
I did, because when you answered the date thing wrong, I was like, I'd forgotten that was something you did. You didn't remember the date. I didn't know that fully, so I assumed something was wrong because it was quite the situation.
Yeah.
Let's face it. It was quite an episode.
Yeah. So you started to ask me a bunch of more questions.
I did.
And I was just like, I'm like thinking, dude, I don't have a concussion. I might be like literally thrown off my bike and then literally slammed into essentially a pole, but I'm not. My brain hasn't gone wacko yet. I eventually assured you that no, I do not have a concussion.
Right. You finally convinced me. It took a minute.
Yeah.
But
I did have to limp.
You did have a limp on your leg. That's right. Yeah, and I helped you walk the bike.
Yeah, thank you. I'm actually surprised out of all the things. It's not my head, albeit I was literally in a dazed state, obviously. And it's literally not my hands that needed the most issues. Because, out of all reality, my hands usually when it comes to contact don't really feel that pain compared to other parts. Because my hands usually heal up very quickly for some reason.
Right.
But what really hurt out of the entire situation was probably my legs. Because I was limping back home.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And then
You walked me a distance until you're like, are you fine? And then, yeah.
I did. I knew you wanted to obviously, just take it the rest of the way. I knew that too.
Yeah, you're more concerned. You were very concerned about me.
Well, I mean, like I said, it's something
it doesn't happen every day.
No, it's happened to me once before. But that was it. But no, yours was certainly the most chaotic crash I'd ever seen on a bike.
So, another interesting thing was that there was this guy that we know from History Bowl, and he's just sitting there like nothing happened.
Oh yeah.
We were actually surprised to see what happened, and eventually we came up and asked him and said, "Wait, did you not see what happened?" And he's like, "That just happens every day. You two people goofing around. Last week you were fighting with water bottles, and this week you're chasing a dude with your chain."
That's true. I remember that.
So yeah, that's that.
He had good one-liners. That guy.
Yeah.
He wasn't so good at everything else, but he had a good one-liner or two.
Yeah. But that said, that is all it for the video, guys. This is how I apparently almost died. That said, have a great day, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord. And I'll see you in the next one.
Now before you leave, I would like to thank you very much for watching this video. I would be honored if you could like and subscribe to the channel. Remember, more videos are coming out, so it is a good idea to click on that notification button. Anyways, have a great day and I'll see you in the next one.